Charles felt pity for his father. All this that belonged to my father is his. But Edison saw his son Charles and immediately said, Charles, go, run, find your mother, bring her here. She will be able to see the like of this again in her lifetime. Such a fire she will not be able to see again. The next morning, Edison comes and stands on the ashes of his dreams and hopes and aspirations, says, there is one good thing which disaster does. It burns away all our mistakes. It gives us a chance to work anew, to start anew. There was a man who counted blessings. He could have been the most despondent, the most depressed of men on earth because of the loss that he sustained. But he was there trying to find out something for which he could feel grateful to God. There was a man, he met me and he asked me this question. He said, have you experience of a sleepless night? He was not sure if I ever had a sleepless night. So I told him, sure I have. There are days when because of overwork or when the body is fatigued, sometimes when it is overtired it doesn't sleep. It says, I will not sleep tonight. So I do have an experience of having sleepless nights. Then he put to me the question. He said, then do you count sheep? I told him, I think I've got a better method than counting sheep. And that is counting blessings. I start counting blessings. When I find that the body will not enter restful sleep, I start counting my blessings. I say, thank you God for having given me this human birth. I could have been born as a lamb, as a goat, as a dog, as a horse, as a bull, as an ox. You have given me this human birth. That great man, regarded as one of the 7 wise men of antiquity, Thales, he said that one of the 3 greatest blessings of life is to be born as a human. You have given me this great blessing, O Lord. I thank God for having given me this human birth. It takes me some time to talk to God and tell Him of the blessings of this human birth. Then I thank God. If sleep does not yet come, I thank God for my 2 wonderful parents. Good seeds of character and plastic mind when I was a little one. I thank God for the members of my family, my sweet sister, my loving brothers, my kind friends. I thank God for having brought me into association, into contact with my beloved master and mentor, Sadhu Vaswani, when I was a little one. I thank God for the teachers in school and college who taught me how to walk the way of righteousness. I thank God for my co-workers and in the mission, for Dada Gangaram. 83 years young, don't call him 83 years old. There was a little boy who asked him, Dada, are you old? He said, no, I am not old, but I have been young for a very, very long time. His health is not as strong today as it was this day last year, but his spirit is more youthful. He's a man with a vision and a dream. He gets wonderful ideas. I thank God that we work under his leadership day after day. I thank God for the other life members. Mission, Mr. Atam Vaswani, Atul Elwani, Mr. Pamu Manchandya, Principal Mrs. Ratna Vaswani, our Professor Ms. Nirmala Jotwani, who has acted as this evening's compere also. I thank the Lord for all these life members, wonderful souls, pictures of devotion and dedication, pictures of love and compassion, pictures of service and sacrifice. I keep on thanking the Lord. When you do that, without your knowing it, you enter into restful sleep. Try it out. Instead of tossing and turning and counting sheep on a restless bed, start counting your blessings. You will find that very soon you will relax and you will find that God is in his heaven and all is well with the world. Then practical suggestion number? 3. No? We must count the practical suggestions also when we count our blessings. Number three. Number three. Number three. All right. I admit I was wrong. Practical suggestion number 3 is appreciate others. Appreciate others. Appreciate others for little things that they do to you. As I told you tonight, as you return to your home, go and appreciate something that your wife has done or your husband has done. Have you ever? There are so many things we take for granted. Say, but my husband knows that I love him and I appreciate him. Husband say, but I know that my wife knows that I love him, I love her and I appreciate her. Saying makes a difference. It is not merely knowing. Saying, you know, there are women who have met me and they have said to me that our husbands made many promises to us, many pledges they gave to us, many vows, but they all have become a part of history. They don't remember the pledges, the promises that they gave us. You must appreciate them for every little thing that they do to you. Some food which you like, your wife has prepared. Honey, what a wonderful dish you have produced. Have you ever told your wife, have you ever told your husband, where would I be without you? Today go and do it. Tell your spouse. Husbands who are present here, go and tell your wives. Wives who are present here, go and tell your husbands. Just these few simple words, honey, where would I be without you? The other person will be shocked, I think. What has happened today? Has the sun set in the east instead of rising in the west? But it will add a new color of joy to your life. Keep on appreciating others. And practical suggestion, number 4, never miss your appointment with God. This is something that I have tried to say at almost every talk that I have given. Never forget your daily appointment with God. Every day, preferably at the same time and at the same place, go and sit in your silence corner. Thank God for all His mercies during the 24 hours. Actually go over those mercies and say to God, say, but God knows everything. No, it makes a difference to faith. At least it makes a difference to you. It may not make a difference to God, because God is the changeless one. He never changes. But it will make a difference to you. Your immune system will become stronger and be healthier in that measure. Every day, go and sit in silence. Sitting in silence, pray, meditate, engage yourself in an intimate and loving conversation with God, or do your spiritual thinking. But do it every day, at the appointed hour. That will create a habit. It will create a force. Receive divine forces. Prayer is not a difficult thing. I have often told you, prayer is something like meeting a friend. Suppose a friend were to come to you. It will be so natural for you to discuss with him your plans, your programs, your desires, your dreams, your aspirations, your achievements. Natural for you to ask him to help you. Do likewise with God. God is your one and only friend. When all other friends fade away, when all other friends pass away, this one only friend remains. The book which was published a few years ago, the title of this book is Secrets to Physical Health. And the book has been written by a very eminent doctor, Dr. Paul Johnson, MD. Book, the doctor writes, I have brought the words. He writes, I have been a doctor for too long and worked with far too many patients to have any doubt that physical well-being is intimately linked with our psychological and our spiritual states. Physical well-being intimately linked with our psychological and our spiritual states. These are the words of an eminent doctor, a scientist, a Western scientist. Therefore, keep on thanking God. Keep on thanking God all the time. In the measure in which you thank, in that measure your heart will expand. And in that measure, your immune system will grow stronger. You have to strengthen your immune system. As I told you, doctors say that without the protection of this immune system, we will not be able to last even for 1 week. Practical suggestion?
Number 5.
Practical suggestion number 5. Trust in the goodness and in the caring of God. Trust in the goodness and in the caring power of God. George Muller, you have heard his name. He had opened orphanages. At his orphanages, thousands of orphans were looked after every day. Thousands of orphans. And this man from his experience said, faith, the beginning of faith is the end of all worry and anxiety. Beginning of worry and anxiety is the end of all faith. In other words, enter faith, exit worry. Enter faith, exit anxiety. And that if there is anything that affects our health adversely, it is worry and anxiety, remember. Now this you can overcome by developing faith. Faith, trust in the good and in the caring power of God. Sadhu Vaswani said to us again and again, he said, God upsets our plans to set up His plans are perfect. Have that faith. Then the upsetting of plans will not affect you at all. He also said to us, every disappointment is His appointment. If it is His appointment, there must be some good in it. He is my father, He is my mother. He cares for me, He takes care of me. Trust in the goodness, caring of God. Keep on thanking all the time, knowing that in whatever happens there is a mercy. God is all love. God is all wisdom. He is too loving to punish. He is too wise to make a mistake. Therefore, everything that happens, there is a meaning of His mercy. And practical suggestion number 6 is, let these words, choose any one of these practical suggestions. Also, in some cases, you can choose one of them. Practical suggestion number 6, the words God, thank you God, be on your lips all the time. You remember that man of 80 years? How healthy he was when he was involved in an accident which led to Shukr was on his lips all the time. Thank you God, thank you God, thank you God, thank you God. These words, thank you God, when they come out of the depths of your heart, they will build for you a ladder of consciousness. You will be able to climb this ladder and reach the very pinnacle of health and happiness and harmony and joy and peace. Thanking God. I read concerning a woman, her husband suffered from an illness which the doctors declared incurable. They said he has only 6 months more to live. But this woman started practicing thanksgiving. 100,000 times every day she kept on thanking God. As she went about attending to her daily chores, as she went about doing her work, keep on uttering this prayer like, thank you God for having healed my husband and made him move. Thank you God for having healed my husband and made him move. Thank you, became a mantra of her life. After 3 months, this man went for a checkup. The doctors are amazed. They said a power above and over us. There is no sign of any disease. Just imagine. This man who had only 3 to 6 months more to live was cured. Thank you God. Thank you God. And practical suggestion, because I have only 3 minutes more. Practical Number 7. Thank God even for difficult days, even for hard times. It is very easy to thank God where everything is going smoothly. But when something goes wrong, we begin to disbelieve in the wisdom of God. Even in the there was a girl, I know, she was a worshipper of God. She used 2 to 3 to 4 hours every day worshiping God. Then suddenly her husband passed away. And do you know what she did? She took all the pictures that she had in the temple, pictures of the gods whom she worshipped, tore them into pieces and threw them. What have you done for me? I refuse to worship you any longer. That is right. To thank God for favors, remember that there are experiences that on the surface they appear to be bitter, but they are not bitter. They bring to you something. You have to grow in wisdom, and you cannot grow in wisdom. Otherwise you are only an animal. You cannot grow in wisdom. You pass through certain experiences of life. Therefore thank God. Thank God even for adverse circumstances. And the last practical section, number 8, let go, let go, let God. Let go, let go. Let go of problems. Life is full of problems. But remember, there is a solution to every problem. Let go your problem, let God take over. Live, child. Surrender yourself to the Lord in this childlike trust, and you will find miracles happening in your daily life. Let go, let go, let go. You'll be happy, and you will find that everything is being taken care of. There was a man, he was walking on the edge of the Dead Sea, when suddenly he fell and tumbled in a section of deep waters. He did not know swimming, so he became very panicky. He began to rush about in the waters to fight the elements of the sea, the strong elements of the sea. But he did not know swimming. Within a few minutes he felt exhausted, and he gave an attempt, and he prayed to God and awaited death to come to him. Surprised, because he was exhausted, he just gave up the attempt. And because he gave up the attempt, he relaxed. And he found that he had forgotten that great fact that the Dead Sea contains so much of salt and so much of minerals that if you just let go, you will keep on floating on the surface of the waters. All he had to do was to trust to the buoyancy of the waters. That is all that he had to do. To trust to the buoyancy of the waters. And when he relaxed, when he let go, he found that he was floating all the time on the waters. This is what happens to us in our daily life. When we let go of our problems, when we let God take over, we find that we don't have to do any work. My friends, I will not keep you longer. I will only say this to you: praise God again and again. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Vaswani was one such man. He always praised God. We asked him one day, when difficulties come to you, what do? He said, I praise God. And we said to him, when your body is in sickness, illness, or in pain, what do? He said, I still praise the Lord. And when you are passing through a storm of life, what do? I still praise the Lord. There was the secret of his life. Praise the Lord. My friends, you who have gathered together to celebrate the 112th birthday of this humble holy man of God, the saint of mercy, praise God all. Let the words thank you God, thank you God, thank you God be on your lips. If you will permit, I would ask you to repeat with me those words at least 5 times. You will feel much better. Just repeat. Thank God. Thank you God. Thank you God. Thank you God. Thank you God. And now come the concluding, the final word. May the blessings of your master, the blessings of my master, the blessings and benedictions of the great masters of humanity, prophets and saints, sages and seers, heroes and holy men, saviors and servants of humanity, who have appeared alike in the East and in the West. May their blessings and their benedictions be on this beautiful meeting, on every one of you, and on your humble servant here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We all are grateful for being a beautiful message. I'm sure.
Beloved love and his thoughts. For 2-3 years it was suspended last year. The generosity of our dear Vishnu and Mrs. Poonam from London.
After this, we shall have a word or two by our dear.
We will go healthier, happier, and very much joyous. I must thank also every one of you who have spared so many of your precious moments to be here with us and made this function a great success. I thank you. I'll not take much of your time.